Here's your wrestling news for March 3rd, 2026. Your headlines for today include Royce Keys' WWE future uncertain after Royal Rumble debut, Jade Cargill facing major locker room heat despite strong WWE push, Ripley hints heated exchange with Jade was real, CM Punk goes off script, breaks the fourth wall on Raw, leaving Roman Reigns furious. Was the Paul Heyman kidnapping angle the right move before WrestleMania? New clue drops about Jey Uso's masked attacker. WWE shortlists potential Mania challenger for Gunther. Gunther crosses line, masked superstar exposed. Real reasons Dominik Mysterio lost the Intercontinental title on Raw, and more. Royce Keys' absence from WWE television may no longer be about creative reshuffling, there's something more to it. During a Q&A session, WrestleVotes was asked directly whether any plans currently exist for Keys. The answer was blunt. Creative plans for Royce Keys? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. SmackDown was going to be the place for him, and I know he was backstage last Friday night. There's no clue when he's showing up on TV. That's a significant shift from where things stood just weeks ago. At the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble, Keys entered number 14 and made an immediate impact by eliminating Damian Priest before being thrown out by Bronson Reed. Internally, a Priest vs. Keys program had reportedly been discussed. However, as WrestleMania plans evolved and key matches were restructured, that direction appears to have fallen apart. Now, with WrestleMania season in full swing and multiple spots being reworked, Keys seems to have been squeezed out entirely. He was backstage on Raw this week and was on SmackDown last week, but there is currently no indication of when or if he'll reemerge on television. Momentum in WWE can shift quickly. Just as fast as it builds, it can stall. For now, Royce Keys is off TV with no creative roadmap in place. Let's just hope WWE doesn't drop the ball on him. Jade Cargill may be holding championship gold, but that doesn't automatically make her a locker room favorite. In recent weeks, discussion has intensified following injuries to B-Fab, Michin, and Tiffany Stratton after matches involving the reigning WWE Women's Champion. While there is no official word tying those incidents directly to fault, the conversation has reportedly shifted toward Cargill's internal reputation. During a Q&A session, WrestleVotes addressed her standing backstage and didn't completely dismiss the noise. As far as the reputation in the locker room, I've heard from a couple of different sources that there's heat there. Not everyone's favorite talent. She's still a star. WWE clearly views her as a star. They're protecting her and not throwing her into situations where she can't succeed, but we've heard that some talent may not. Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp clarified that there is no confirmed producer-level heat. However, he acknowledged that talent discussions have taken place. To be clear, WWE continues to position Cargill as the centerpiece of the women's division heading into WrestleMania 42. She remains heavily protected in booking and is presented as a major attraction. But as is often the case at the top of the card, not everyone may see the situation the same way. Continuing on the same subject, it appears that Cargill has made real-life enemies with another wrestler too. After Rhea Ripley secured her WWE Women's Championship opportunity by winning the Elimination Chamber match, the build toward her clash with champion Jade Cargill quickly escalated, and not just on television. The exchange started when Cargill downplayed Ripley's title shot, suggesting she had expected a different opponent. She questioned how Ripley continues to remain in the spotlight heading into WrestleMania 42, framing the opportunity as predictable rather than earned. Ripley responded bluntly, "All you seem to do is talk, and that's literally it." Cargill fired back with a pointed accusation. "Talk? Like the hours you spend talking to creative?" That line shifted the tone. Referencing creative introduces real-world implications, something wrestling traditionally avoids unless tensions are deliberate. Ripley didn't hold back. "You're funny. That's funny. Now we know you really do be talking out of your ass because everything you say is bullshit. Don't spread lies on my name, you dumb bee." Cargill attempted to brush it off. "Oh god, another victim. Will you girls lighten up and stop crying? We haven't even started yet, boo." Up to that point, the back and forth could still be viewed as a heated promotional buildup, but Ripley's follow-up Instagram story changed the perception entirely. She wrote, "Not having fun, not friends, learn to work, and never lie to defame someone's real human character by breaking the fourth wall." That phrasing is significant. In wrestling, breaking the fourth wall typically means blurring fiction with real-life backstage matters. By saying someone defamed her real human character, Ripley strongly implied that a line had been crossed. This no longer reads like standard WrestleMania trash talk. With backstage rumblings already circulating about locker room tension and neither woman backing down publicly, the rivalry feels increasingly personal. What began as a competitive championship buildup now carries undertones of genuine friction. The women's championship match at WrestleMania 42 was already high stakes, now it might be combustible. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Seth Rollins didn't just cost Logan Paul inside the Elimination Chamber, he escalated the war on Raw in a way that completely changed the landscape. When Paul Heyman and the Vision called Rollins out on Raw, chaos followed. 5 masked men, possibly from Rollins' Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, appeared at different points throughout the segment, pulling security away, distracting Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and isolating Heyman inside the ring. When the ring cleared, Rollins struck. He entered unnoticed and blasted Paul Heyman with a steel chair before planting him with a stomp. The attack left Heyman laid out and bleeding as officials and medical personnel rushed to the scene. But the segment didn't end there. Heyman was loaded onto an ambulance, and just when it seemed the show was moving on, the driver revealed himself to be L.A. Knight. Knight declared that he would take care of Heyman before driving off, strongly implying a kidnapping angle. The imagery was dramatic: blood and an ambulance and a forced removal from the arena. Now the bigger question emerges, is Heyman being written off television? If so, that decision carries weight. With Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed both sidelined due to injury, Heyman has been one of the central connective pieces in ongoing storylines. Removing him, even temporarily, shifts the balance significantly. But is taking Heyman off TV the right move right now? Or does WWE need him more than ever? The chaos surrounding Paul Heyman didn't stop at the ambulance. As Heyman was being loaded in with Austin Theory and Logan Paul visibly concerned, another twist unfolded in the parking area. A car pulled up, Theory approached it, and was blindsided by Jimmy Uso. The sudden attack immediately fueled speculation that the Vision may have been behind the earlier assault on Jey Uso on SmackDown. There's no official confirmation tying them to it, but the implication was strong enough to shift the tone of the night. That confrontation quickly led to Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory later in the show. The match itself never fully settled into rhythm. It was chaotic from the start, with the action spilling outside the ring repeatedly. Before either man could establish control, Logan Paul interfered, causing a disqualification. Then came the equalizer. Jey Uso's music hit, and the former World Heavyweight Champion stormed down with crutches in hand. The Usos attacked from behind, swinging at Theory and Paul, clearing the ring and standing tall to close the segment. The direction feels obvious. With tensions escalating and factions colliding, this has all the makings of a WrestleMania World Tag Team title program, the Usos defending against Logan Paul and Austin Theory under the Vision banner. The pieces are falling into place. The only question now is whether WWE pulls the trigger on that tag showdown at WrestleMania. The road to WrestleMania 42 just turned deeply personal. In the main event segment of Raw following Elimination Chamber 2026, Roman Reigns and CM Punk came face to face, and what started as verbal sparring quickly escalated into something far more intense. Roman Reigns made his return after a brief hiatus and opened fire first, claiming WWE brought Punk back to entertain 30 to 40-year-old virgins and move merchandise, not to carry the company as world champion. He belittled Punk's drawing power outside of Chicago and ended his tirade by calling him a punk-ass before attempting to walk away. Punk didn't let him. Stopping Reigns in his tracks, Punk tore into the OTC, telling him he's isolated and can't succeed without backup, but then he crossed a line. Punk told Reigns he would bury him next to his father. The arena gasped. Reigns' father, Sika Anoa'i, passed away in June 2024. Referencing him in that context instantly shifted the tone of the rivalry. This wasn't just storyline aggression, it was a deliberate break from scripted boundaries to inject raw emotion into the feud. Reigns stood frozen, visibly stunned and furious. Whether fans agree with the line or not, there's no denying the effect. Both men delivered promos with conviction and intensity that elevated the segment beyond standard WrestleMania hype. It's safe to say they knocked it out of the park verbally. Even Dirtsheets online are reporting that both Punk and Reigns went off script, but what really happened backstage or at the gorilla position is still not known. Despite defeating Dragon Lee on Raw this week, Gunther still doesn't have a confirmed opponent for WrestleMania 42. According to WrestleVotes during a March 2nd Q&A session, WWE has not finalized creative plans for the ring general, but 3 serious options are currently being discussed. Plans for Gunther at WrestleMania are undetermined. They're not sure which direction they're going to go. It could easily be Rey Mysterio, especially with the Dragon Lee situation going on. Gunther vs. Obafemi is also a possibility. WWE did make it a point to throw Gunther out of the building before Brock Lesnar had his open challenge. At this point, Gunther's three options are Rey Mysterio, Obafemi, or Brock Lesnar. It's up in the air. That last detail is particularly interesting. WWE made a deliberate choice to remove Gunther from the arena before Brock Lesnar issued his open challenge, a move that could easily be interpreted as planting a seed. At the same time, Rey Mysterio remains a logical storyline continuation given the ongoing Dragon Lee situation. Meanwhile, Obafemi represents a fresh power versus power showdown that would instantly feel like a generational clash. WWE appears to be keeping all lanes open as WrestleMania 42 approaches. The uncertainty doesn't mean Gunther lacks direction, it means the company is still deciding which matchup carries the most weight on the biggest stage. So the question is simple: do you go legend, rising force, or blockbuster attraction for the ring general at WrestleMania? Dragon Lee gave Gunther more than most expected, and for a moment it genuinely looked like an upset was possible. The crowd reacted as if something special might be unfolding, but the ending told a different story. As Gunther attempted to secure his sleeper hold, he paused, and instead of immediately locking it in, he reached for Dragon Lee's mask. In one swift motion, Gunther tore it loose. For a brief second, Lee's face was exposed before Gunther's hands covered him again. It was quick, but not quick enough. Fans immediately picked up on the moment, and clips began circulating online almost instantly. In lucha culture, a mask isn't just gear, it's identity, legacy, and pride. Ripping it off mid-match carries heavy symbolism. Whether it was meant as a calculated disrespect within the storyline or an unplanned slip remains unclear. Dominik Mysterio's Intercontinental title reign came to an end on Raw as Penta finally overcame Dirty Dom after multiple previous losses. The finish told a bigger story than just a title change. During the closing stretch, JD McDonough attempted to slide Dominik a hammer, but before he could interfere, Finn Balor stepped in and stopped him. That hesitation created the opening Penta needed. Moments later, he planted Dominik with the Mexican Destroyer and captured the Intercontinental Championship. Here are three key reasons why the title switch likely happened. First, this loss appears to accelerate the brewing tension between Balor and Dominik Mysterio heading into WrestleMania 42. Balor had already made it clear that Dominik needed to defend the championship on his own. Dominik ignored that advice and still looked for help. When Balor prevented JD from interfering, it indirectly cost Dom the match. Add in Dominik mocking Balor for his Elimination Chamber loss to CM Punk, and the friction is obvious. The title loss now gives them a deeply personal issue to settle on the grandest stage. Second, Penta needed this win. Prior to this match, Dominik had beaten him multiple times on Raw. Another loss would have stalled Penta's momentum entirely. Instead, WWE pulled the trigger and positioned him as a legitimate mid-card champion under the current creative regime. The victory restores credibility and instantly elevates him within the Red Brand's title picture. Third, the move freshens up the Intercontinental title scene. Dominik is already a two-time champion and has cycled through much of the division. With WrestleMania season underway, a shakeup creates new matchups and new stories. There have even been subtle teases of Danhausen circling the title picture after previously cursing Dominik before the bout. A new champion opens the door for fresh challengers and unpredictable directions. Dominik losing the title may sting now, but the ripple effects could define multiple WrestleMania programs. The bigger judgment is this: was this the beginning of Penta's breakout run, or the start of Judgment Day's implosion? That wraps up Raw for this week, guys. Did WWE deliver this time? Which moment really stood out? And because there was just so much happening on this show, we've shifted a few key segments to our 5:30 p.m. news update so we can break them down properly without rushing through them. Make sure your notifications are on. You won't want to miss that deeper dive. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.